This evening, first, too many Chinese shops. Vice President Bharrat Jagdeo responds to growing business tensions over the surge of Chinese-owned stores. He says they're welcome, but only if they follow Guyana's law. Plus, sky-high success. A 375% traffic spike puts us on the map as the Caribbean's next aviation powerhouse. Also, visa violations spark backlash. Thousands of Guyanese overstayed in the U.S. last year, and Washington is cracking down. Could stricter visa rules and hefty bonds be on the horizon? Meanwhile, from prison to progress, Guyana now leads CARICOM with the lowest repeat offender rate. A massive prison reform push is giving ex-inmates second chances and setting regional standards. And in Texas, Democrats on the run. Lawmakers feed the state in a bold move to stop redistricting they say will rig future U.S. elections. All this and more coming up on Headline News Update. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 5th, 2025. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, Vice President Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo has responded to growing concerns within the local business community about the increase in Chinese-owned establishments across the country, stating that while the government cannot prevent these businesses from operating, they must comply with all of Guyana's laws. Jagdeo explained that many Chinese supermarkets and shops are operating on properties rented from the Guyanese landlords, limiting the government's ability to intervene.
What we have are Guyanese businesses who have been renting their places to Chinese to open markets. We can do very little about that because when you own your property, we can't tell you
who to rent to.
Right.
Citing a recent example at Diamond, he noted that a Chinese business set up next to the regional hospital on land previously awarded to a Guyanese, who then rented it out.
I went to the Diamond opening of the new hospital. So I came out and I saw this Chinese supermarket. And it irked me. I said, how come this is a prime spot? Why would we give it to a Chinese to open a supermarket here? Guyanese could do this. So we went back, I came back and I found out, the land, we gave it to Guyanese through a business proposal. They then own the land now and they rented it. They got it to open a business there. And now once they get the title, there is very little we can do.
Right.
While acknowledging that Chinese-owned businesses often provide extended hours and valuable services to communities, the Vice President insisted they must play by the rules. He said authorities are cracking down on illegal practices, including tax evasion and unlicensed alcohol sales, to ensure a level playing field with local businesses.
So I made it clear that our position is if you come to our country, and our people are paying taxes and they have to get the requisite permission to sell, you have to comply with the law. And if you're inducing some GRA official or someone else, then that has to change. So we have had a crackdown to ensure that they have that they're paying taxes. Some of them are still duping the taxes, but that they're paying the taxes. So for example, if they sell beers in a supermarket, you have to get a license to sell alcohol too. You can't just, the Guyanese man would have to get a license to sell alcohol. So we're looking at that. So the same rules must apply to everyone.
The Vice President also urged Guyanese entrepreneurs to modernize and extend their business hours to stay competitive, stressing that adapting to changing consumer habits is essential in today's economy. Thousands of Guyanese could face future U.S. visa restrictions after a new report from Customs and Border Protection flagged over 3,100 visa overstays in 2023. Dil Jarvis has the details.
Thousands of Guyanese are at risk of losing future travel privileges to the United States after a newly released report revealed that over 3,100 nationals overstayed their U.S. visas in 2023. The alarming overstay rate has placed Guyana among the top violators globally, prompting warnings from U.S. authorities and possible new travel restrictions targeting high-risk countries. According to a report from U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP), more than 3,100 Guyanese nationals overstayed their legal stay in the United States. In fiscal year 2023, after entering on non-immigrant business or tourist visas, B1 and B2. Of the 56,965 Guyanese admitted via air and sea between October 2022 and September 2023, 3,186 failed to leave within the authorized period, a 5.59% overstay rate, nearly 4 times the global average of 1.45%. The report further noted that 3,070 of those were suspected to still be in the U.S. without a change in immigration status. Additionally, 27 Guyanese on student or exchange visas overstayed. U.S. authorities have warned that overstays may result in visa revocations, bans, and stricter visa policies. The U.S. Embassy in Georgetown previously cautioned that even a single overstay could lead to a lifetime travel ban, emphasizing that consular officers have full access to individuals' immigration histories. The crackdown on overstays comes amid broader U.S. immigration enforcement measures, including a new pilot program requiring visa applicants from high overstay countries to pay bonds of up to U.S. $15,000. With Guyana's visa overstay rate now under intense scrutiny, U.S. authorities are signaling a stricter stance on travel compliance. As immigration enforcement tightens and new policies like visa bonds looms, Guyanese travelers are being urged to strictly follow visa rules or risk losing access to future opportunities in the United States. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jervis.
Thanks, Dale. Ghana has seen a dramatic surge in air traffic and international connectivity, with passenger movements at its two main airports rising by 375% over the past 5 years, and this is according to the Ministry of Public Works. International passenger travel at the Chedijagan International Airport and Eugene F. Korai International Airport jumped from 205,000 in 2020 to nearly 939,000 in 2024, a 375% increase, with over 1 million passengers expected in 2025, surpassing pre-pandemic levels. The government attributes the growth to its targeted investments and strategic air service agreements with countries like India, China, Colombia, and the Netherlands. Since 2020, major international airlines such as JetBlue, British Airways, United Airlines, and KLM Airlines have launched or announced service to Guyana. Locally, new aircrafts and upgraded fleets have boosted domestic capacity, with 25% more aircraft movement in Guyana's airspace between 2021 and 2024. Officials says these developments signal Guyana's transformation into a regional hub for air travel and trade, driven by modern infrastructure, expanding partnerships, and growing demand. As Guyana crosses the 1 million passenger threshold and welcomes new global carriers, authorities says the country is well on its way to becoming a major aviation gateway into the region. With continued investments, strategic partnerships, and modernized fleets, Ghana's skies are opening wider than ever, cementing its role as a rising hub for air travel, tourism, and trade in the Caribbean and beyond. Stick around when we return. Lima Sands and the Kendron Regional Hospitals near completion, and Guyana leads CARICOM with the lowest repeat offending rate.
Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Me ain't got time for that. Why must I vote?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And either playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our small make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Guyana now boasts the lowest repeat offending or recidivism rate in CARICOM at 14%, thanks to sweeping prison reforms and record investment in rehabilitation. This announcement was made by Director of Prisons, Nixon Elliott.
Prison population is just over 2,000 prisoners, and this reflects a 3% drop in last year's population. Repeat offenders, the recidivism rate for Guyana for 2024 stands at 14%. But let me explain the definition for recidivism. This is where persons who repeat offenses and return to prison.
This achievement, highlighted in episode 7 of Safeguarding Our Nation series, sets Guyana apart from regional counterparts like Barbados with 60%, Trinidad and Tobago with 50%, and Suriname with 46%. Elliott noted that work is ongoing to reduce the recidivism rate further.
We are working to reduce our recidivism rate by having a multi-stakeholders approach. The Guyana Prison Service is working with the Ministry of Labor to address prisoners who may want to be a part of the job bank and the labor market. We have the Guyana Police Force, who is working on the social prevention programs. We have the Ministry of Human Services, have a number of social programs within the community. And this by itself will help us to further reduce the level of recidivism within the Guyana Prison Service. Overall, we are working to ensure that the recidivism rate is much lower than it is at the moment.
The Guyana Prison Service is responsible for the safe custody, rehabilitation, and reintegration of prisoners.
In recent years, its role has evolved significantly, focusing on rehabilitation, investment, and institutional reform. Rehabilitation, this is the core mission of the Guyana Prison Service, where we expose prisoners to several training programs such as carpentry, joinery, and masonry. These programs are facilitated by qualified facilitators, and the programs are accredited.
The prison director stated that since 2021, the government has injected over $28 billion in the Guyana Prison Service, supporting prison infrastructure upgrades, accredited officer training, and comprehensive inmate rehabilitation programs. These include vocational training, therapy, and reintegration initiatives like the Fresh Start Initiative, which has helped over 50 ex-prisoners launch businesses. Prison Director Elliott emphasized the transformation of the prison system from punishment to purpose-driven correction.
We are adopting the Nelson Mandela rules, which focuses on rehabilitation, humane conditions for prisoners, allowing them to have access to legal services and healthcare services within the prison. Overall, our entire vision is to ensure that we operate within a human rights perspective and to ensure that our system is in keeping with modern day correctional best practices.
Alongside inmate support, the Guyana Prison Service has improved officer welfare, introduced body cameras, and ensured swift disciplinary action against misconduct. Guyana's prison population also declined by 2.9% over the past year, reflecting the success of its rehabilitation first model. Elliott said Guyana's model is now considered a regional benchmark for humane, rehabilitative justice, with the Guyana Prison Service reaffirming its commitment to second chances, public safety, and dignity. In other news, residents of Regions 2 and 3 are on the brink of a major healthcare breakthrough as the new Lima Sands and Dikendron regional hospitals near completion, promising cutting-edge medical services and emergency care closer to home than ever before. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, announced that residents will benefit from world-class medical care as the new hospitals approach completion. During recent site visits, Minister Anthony announced that the facilities, each with 75-bed capacity, will offer 24 hours emergency services, advanced imaging technologies like CT scans and X-rays, surgical theaters, intensive care units, and specialty outpatient clinics. These hospitals are part of a national push to expand healthcare access, with similar facilities recently opened in Regions 4 and 5 and more under construction across Regions 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The initiative reflects the government's commitment to building a modern, decentralized healthcare system, reducing the need for residents to travel to Georgetown for specialized services. Access to quality healthcare is fundamental to the well-being and development of any community. With the completion of the Lima Sands and Dikendron regional hospitals, residents of Regions 2 and 3 will no longer have to face long journeys for essential medical services. These modern facilities not only improve immediate healthcare access, but also strengthen overall health infrastructure of the country, ensuring that more Guyanese receive timely, effective care close to home. This milestone marks a vital step towards a healthier, more resilient nation. Don't go away after the break. Malay tames inflation, but Argentines still struggle to afford basic, and 5.7 quake strikes near the Dominican Republic.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from modern optical services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Friend, hi, give me a minute now. I want you to clear something up for me.
Okay. What is it, ma'am? And why you look so confused?
I hear all this talk about elections and voting, but I really don't understand how this could affect me.
All right. It's like this. Once you were registered by GCOM and you were 18 years or older by June 30th, 2025, you are entitled to vote, provided that you are listed in the official list of electors.
Well, I registered and I'm over 18, but how I would know if my name is on the official list of electors?
That's very easy. GCOM is displaying the official list of electors at two popular places in the community where you live. Just go there and check the list. Or you can go to GCOM's website and use the search tool.
Oh, what? Thanks. Go ahead and do it now. Yeah. My name on the list. I definitely vote in that elections.
Nice.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening. I am Nikita Ford. Welcome to our regional and international news segment, which keeps you informed and up to date with a trending news story worldwide. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck southeast of Dominican Republic early Tuesday, also felt in Puerto Rico. No damage was reported. Hours earlier, a 4.1 quake hit near Haiti capital. Both quakes occurred in seismically active zone with tectonic plates intersect. Authorities reports no injuries. Argentina's government has slashed inflation from a record monthly height of 25% in 2023 to around 2% last month. Al Jazeera Tourismo reports.
Alejandro Lama says the first quarter of 2025 is the best period recorded for car sales in Argentina since the 1990s. It's happening as the Libertarian President Javier Milei continues to push his economic reforms.
Numbers do not lie, and this is the reality. These are goods that are registered, counted, and this is what's happening. I believe there was lots of postponed consumption because of inflation. There has been tax exemptions and also government policies to allow people to use their saved dollars.
Argentina has been struggling with high inflation for years. But for now, Milei's harsh austerity plan that reduces government spending to achieve fiscal surplus has managed to slow it down.
Argentina is experiencing a boom in real estate, in people traveling overseas, but also in car sales. But among low-income sectors, the situation is completely different. Consumption has fallen, unemployment is on the rise, and people are using credit to buy food.
But inflation is not the only problem for kindergarten teachers Silvana, Daniela, and Rita. They say they have to work in multiple jobs, and despite this, they're still struggling because of a sharp fall in wages.
I'm on my own and I have 2 children. I also teach dance lessons and take pictures. I need to find ways to pay the bills that are adding up.
They say the government's decision to lift subsidies is also having an impact.
It's complicated. Before, we had subsidies in transport and electricity, and everything has gone up. Our health insurance used to cover everything. Now, you cannot get sick because you have to pay extra.
Economist Gabriel Rubinstein says there's an explanation for what's happening in Argentina.
The government started with a cheap dollar for the public and strengthening the peso, and that generates lots of frustration, inequality, and risks that they'll be able to keep it in time, especially in a country like Argentina where the foreign reserves are low.
Argentina is set to lead Latin America in economic growth next year, thanks to crucial economic reforms to promote investment. And while some are benefiting from Milei's plans, others are finding it extremely difficult to get by. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Dozens of Democratic legislators has fled the U.S. state of Texas in a last-ditch bid to stop Republican redrawing congressional district. Al Jazeera Heidi Zu Castro reports.
Arrest warrants are out for more than 50 Democratic members of the Texas legislature after they fled the state in an act of political protest.
Members, a quorum is not present.
Without enough members present to vote, the Texas Republican majority could not proceed with plans to redraw congressional maps to more heavily favor their own party. The action, requested by Donald Trump last month, would have flipped enough Texas congressional seats for Republicans to ensure the party's continued control of Washington through the presidential term.
Just a very simple redrawing. We pick up 5 seats.
Republicans called the sudden departure of Texas Democrats a political stunt that will only delay but not stop the new maps from being adopted. Texas Democrats arrived in the blue states of Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York to a hero's welcome.
The tool they're using is a racist, gerrymandered map.
Our voices deserve to be heard. I am representing, I am not abandoning my duties, I am doing my job.
The moment has become a national flashpoint, with the Democratic governor of New York now vowing to redraw congressional district maps in her own state to favor Democrats as a countermeasure.
If Republicans are willing to rewrite these rules to give themselves an advantage, then they're leaving us no choice. We must do the same.
Meanwhile, the Republican governor of Texas says any state lawmaker who does not return to their job at the state capitol will be arrested and punished.
Subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York, so he gonna come get us how? Subpoenas in Texas don't work in Chicago. He's gonna come get us how?
The political cat and mouse chase comes with high stakes. Republicans have the narrowest House majority in Washington in nearly a century, and next year's midterm elections will follow the state-drawn district maps. That has both parties clawing for every last seat. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
The U.S. and Lebanon has been holding talks on the roadmap to fully disarm Hezbollah. Al Jazeera's Zilu Kadur reports.
Hezbollah has made its position clear. It will not disarm because to do so would serve Israel's interests, not Lebanon's sovereignty.
They try to blackmail us by saying they won't give us money for reconstruction. If what? If we hand over our weapons to Israel, we will not hand them over.
This was seen as a message to Lebanon's new leadership that's promised to disarm all armed groups.
I call on all political parties to approach the issue of arms control with full responsibility. Disagreement must remain respectful within the framework of the Constitution.
The president was speaking at an event to commemorate Army Day, the institution that will take on Hezbollah if and when there's a political decision to disarm the group by force. The army holds a fractured nation together, but it's a reflection of the sectarian system. During the Civil War in the 1980s, it fragmented. And that's why Aoun has said the issue of disarmament is sensitive with consequences for national peace.
If there's a cost to pay to be able to centralize the weapons with the LAF, with the Lebanese armed forces, better be like that. But everything has been done so far was to avoid any clash with Hezbollah.
Hezbollah has clashed with the state in the past. In 2008, a government decision to dismantle the group's telecommunication network led to street violence. For years, Hezbollah was the most powerful military and political actor in Lebanon. It may have lost some of its military capabilities in last year's conflict with Israel, but it's not defeated.
Hezbollah is still strong in the state because of the monopoly that Hezbollah and Amal have over Shiite representation, as well as the appointment of key figures in all of the state, judiciary, military, and otherwise, that are politically aligned to them.
The group's supporters believe disarmament will have implications for their political standing and security.
Lebanon's political landscape and society have long been divided, with differing views on Hezbollah's role and the need for disarmament. The issue has dominated Lebanese politics for decades, but today there is a sense of urgency with increasing international pressure.
And increasing military pressure from Israel, which regularly targets Hezbollah despite the ceasefire. The government is now expected to formally commit to disarming Hezbollah, a decision that could at the least ignite a political crisis. In the words of the president, it's a critical time. Zana Khuder, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
Thanks, Nikita. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-Bed forecast. And that's it to be 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and be safe.